before I met Josh, when I was non-monogamously dating, I would specifically avoid couples. And why is because most of the couples that I met, they were just dating only together, and they were clearly just looking for the unicorn. I didn't want to be that. I was like running away from that as far as I could. I don't want to be your little fetish that you just like hide and like put in the little closet. So the thing that attracted me to Josh at first was the fact that he was dating alone. And him and Char, sorry, English is not my first language. You guys had your profiles, they were separate, but you were connected. So I connected with him, and then I got to see hers. And you were saying you're polyamorous and you're dating. That to me inspired trust that you're actually looking for a connection in a relationship. And Char was pretty much saying what you were saying. She was supporting you. And that was attractive.
Nice.
It was good. I was like, okay, I want to meet this guy.
Yes.
And then when I first started talking to you and we first got more serious, I remember asking you about hierarchy and about veto power, because I was developing feelings for you, and I was concerned that you may not be fully available and open. So I was concerned about if Char would be, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, and then my feelings would get broken, would get hurt, and my heart would be broken.
Yeah.
So I did ask about that.
And what did you find out?
I found out that you do not believe in hierarchy.
That's true.
And Char confirmed that to me, not in words, but when I actually met you too. And I found out that you were truly polyamorous. Like that was my first real experience with polyamory. Not that I had a lot of polyamorous friends before I met you, but I was never really interested in polyamory before I met you. And that was my first experience with it, and it was a very positive experience. I wish everyone would get that experience.
Yeah. And you met us too after we already had done a lot of work,
Right.
to make room for that. Like you're saying, you're noting how Josh was he's not wired to be hierarchical. And I had also done a lot of work to disable or deconstruct the hierarchical mindsets that I had and make room for that additional life partner that we were hoping would join our family.
So you're saying that you guys did it right? You did all the work and you're prepared for a third rather than just waiting for that third to fix all your problems? Is that what you're saying?
Well, we definitely weren't looking for a third to fix our problems.
What?
Yes. That is what I'm saying. Yeah. Josh and I had a beautiful relationship already. Like we had great communication and problem solving and just worked great together. And then I think that's one of the things that from public perception for the people that we have come out to, it's like, why would you bring in somebody else? Like you already have this relationship that everybody
we're so perfect right now.
Everybody loves. Yeah. But what they can't see is what life is like behind the closed doors, where it's like, yeah, we already had something beautiful, but now we have something even better. Like it's mind blowing, you know?
Yeah.
And until you've actually experienced that, you're not going to understand it.
I agree.
When you looked at Josh's profile, if he hadn't specified that he is dating separately and looking for relationships separate from me, who is connected on his profile, you wouldn't have even given him the time of day. You never would have even swiped.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
Because I've always associated that with people just looking for a little fun. I did not want it to be anybody's little fun thing on the side. It just didn't sound very good to me.
Yeah, spice to the sexless marriage.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen
sexless or not sexless. I just did not want to be that, like a fantasy, like a king. I don't even know. Like it just doesn't sound right to me.
Right.
Yeah, it seems to be a common red flag too. I've seen around the internet where you don't want to date a couple if they do not already date separately. You've got to date them both
Okay.
That brings in all these extra problems with it. And then that's where the hierarchies come in and
Right.
Yeah.
couples privilege and like just about every red flag you can have.
Right. It's an indicator that they're really only looking for something shallow and usually no strings attached, or the best case scenario, friends with benefits. And then one or both always has veto power. And
Right.
it's just, it's not looking out for your best interest as you being your own human being here.
And I don't think that's 100% either across the
No.
board. It's just kind of an eyebrow raising thing. You're like, oh,
Right. But the indicator to her that we didn't have that is that you said right on there, you date separately. And actually, my profile also said you date separately. At the time, I was not looking for any additional partners, though, but I also said,
Yeah, both your profiles were very well written. Actually, I think all our profiles were very well written and they were very concise. And I knew exactly what I would get if I would actually start a conversation with you and start some sort of a relationship with you. And it seemed to me they were not just accurate, but they seemed to be very truthful. And they made me trust you for some reason. I think the way they were written.
Yeah, I know. I talked about it in an episode before, but it was your profile was also so well written and put together, and the message you sent me was so well written. It normally I wouldn't have even dated you because you were so far away. But it was like,
You hear that, ladies? If you give it a try and you put in a message that's worth his time,
he'll drive the extra difference.
One of the things that I learned the hard way while dating non-monogamously, other non-monogamous people, is that a lot of people are just into sexting. They will endlessly send pictures or write their fantasies and never actually be ready to meet. This is something that I've learned right away. And that was a rule that I have made for myself. I would never do that. If somebody wanted to meet me, if we liked each other, I would actually push to meet in person really, really fast, like in a week or two.
Exactly. Yeah, I was getting so burnt out when I was dating too. It's like these people will tie you up for weeks and send you all these messages daily back and forth and pictures and everything, and with no intention. I don't really think of ever actually meeting up.
Yes, you're right.
So.
There's never any intention. And it's funny because you would think women would be more inclined to do that to men, but actually I've had the same experience with men. Men do the same thing, especially married men. So I'm thinking, there we go again, like you are getting into the category of you're just a fantasy. You're not a real person that they're interested in meeting and having a relationship with you.
Yes.
Interesting. Or it might be an indicator as well that maybe he really is interested, but she's dragging her feet when it comes time to actually set up a date or something.
Good point. Or even like, it makes me think like, are you being truthful here?
Right.
Or you're just a married guy texting me on the side and hiding from his wife? Because that could be a possibility.
That's like, I was just reading in a book yesterday, actually, 30% of the married population is on dating apps secretly.
There you go.
Yeah.
And now with the whole polyamorous thing, there's an excuse. I'm polyamorous.
Yeah.
Right. Watch out, ladies.
Well, that's why I was so direct when we were talking back and forth. I was like, okay, let's meet this time, this date.
Which I appreciated a lot. I wanted that. And we even talked about it. Like, I don't want to waste time. I want to meet, and I want you, like, I've actually, right before I met you, or maybe like a month or two before, I actually got stood up for the very first time. The only time in my entire life I got stood up. I was like, what is going on? I still to the day don't know what happened, but yeah.
I never got stood up, but I had, it was quite often, like right before you're supposed to be on the date, my friend got in a car accident. Kind of like, are you kidding me?
Right.
Just this lame stuff over and over. So
or you make loose plans and then the day of you're trying to confirm and it's just radio silence.
Yeah, there you go.
something better comes up, or they get
knows?
cold feet.
Yeah.
Never were serious. Who knows?
Yeah. The infamous ghost. If someone is dating and open to the idea of joining a couple, a pre-existing couple, what are some of the things that you think are wise to look for and ask before things get too serious?
I think one of the most important things is like analyze the couple's relationship. Make sure they have a stable, successful relationship. You don't want to be the Band-Aid. We've spoken about it in other episodes, and you want to make sure that this couple is already happy, and they're requiring something more from their love life, but they're not trying to fix something that's not working anymore.
Yeah, you don't want to be the fix for their relationship.
Yeah.
They need to be solid already without you.
Yeah, because you're not going to fix it.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. No, any problems that are lying under the surface are just going to get,
Right.
yeah. It's going to get worse. Things are going to get stirred up, not actually be fixed.
You're in for a lot
adding another relationship or new relationship dynamics. Yeah.
And then other things that I would look at is just basic compatibility. Like, what are they looking for? Are they looking for a long-term relationship? Are they looking for a short-term relationship? Does that match with you? Do they have hierarchy? Is that something you want? Do you want hierarchy? Do you don't want it? Everything, every little thing has to be discussed. And you have to pay attention to all these compatibilities. Because when you put more than two people into a relationship, everything is going to be even harder to figure out if compatibility isn't there.
And that's a really important part of the compatibility. I mean, is it a fleeing, like you said, short term, long term, forever? What are you guys looking for? If there's any mismatch in that, it's not a match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. If even one person is absolutely not open to the thing that you most want out of the relationship, or at least want to have on the table, then don't even go there. That's just lining yourself up for heartbreak, really.
No, that's something that has to be talked about early on, very early on.
Once you're all on the same page of making sure you all want the same thing out of the relationship, the next thing is, I think, making sure everyone in the relationship is willing to do the work that it's going to take. So we just talked about that in one of our recent episodes, the 4 tips for a healthy throuple relationship, but really that applies to quads and any relationship where you're already having an existing partnership and you want to bring in a new person, new partners. You've got to all be willing to put in the work.
Correct. Yeah. If you're a pre-existing couple, you need to put in the work already before you're bringing in that third person into your relationship. And that's part of the screening for that person coming in. Did this couple do the work? Mm-hmm. Are they ready to have you enter in their relationship?
Right.
You know, and it goes back to what we said earlier. You're not the fix. You're not the Band-Aid. So they need to be solid. Then you should be able to tell that.
Yeah, they should have good communication skills and be able to tell you what they want out of their relationship with you, what they love about their relationship with their current partner, what their weaknesses are in relationships.
Exactly. Yeah.
So when you came into this relationship, and I'm sure you were screening us out, what made you feel good about it? What were you seeing? Did you see any red flags? Did you see green flags? What did you see?
I didn't see any red flags. It's not like I wasn't really looking for red flags. I was basically looking for the type of relationship that I would like to have. So when I first met you, Char, and I came to your house, I was looking at the way you two interact with each other, and if there's love, if there's communication, and I saw a lot of it. There was this overall feeling of love and understanding. And I was thinking, okay, and the kids were, I think, one of the biggest surprise, because I don't have kids, and I've seen other people's kids, and I've always been like, oh my God. So I was a bit nervous about it. And they were so easy to get along with, and they were so pleasant to speak with and be with. And that to me was a very clear indication that you guys are doing things right, because I do judge people based on their kids.
Interesting. Yeah, that's true. It is an indication that they're living in a loving home where they, where things are stable.
They get a good balance of everything, love and teaching moments, right?
Mm-hmm.
So originally, you weren't looking for a polyamorous relationship, were you?
That's right. I was not. I was looking for something more than casual dating. I wanted more substance, and I wanted a relationship. But I don't think my mind went as far as thinking polyamory.
You did never anticipate falling in love with a husband and a wife.
Not. Exactly. Yes, because I didn't. I think it was and I'm actually happy that it was such a natural progression for me. It wasn't something that I have discovered and thought, oh, I could be that, or I always knew about polyamorous people. It was just that at that time in my life before I met you, I wasn't there. I did not want to be polyamorous because I was still exploring what non-monogamy meant to me. And after I've got through that, I realized that actually relationships are important to me. And then I started looking for something more meaningful and with substance. And from just, it was just this huge transition. Like I jumped straight into polyamory with you.
Yes.
And it was natural and it was beautiful. And I loved it.
I think that's something important to tell our listeners too, is we were just talking about how important it is to make sure you're all on the same page of what you want out of the relationship. But initially, Josh and I were already hoping for an additional life partner. And that was absolutely not something that you were looking for. You weren't looking to come in and move in with a family. So just knowing that it's more about that organic connection and just being open to where the relationship might lead someday.
Right. And how natural it is, how natural everything was and how it just fit. We didn't force it in any way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the whole point of this is, even though you have an understanding of polyamory and maybe the couple that you met has another understanding of polyamory, and maybe you're looking for something and they're looking for something, I would always advise on never saying never. You never know when you're going to meet someone that's going to completely change your mind. It's going to completely change the never. When you said, I will never do that, you're going to meet that person. You never know. So just be open, because
those people.
Right? Different people are going to get you in situations more beautiful and more wonderful than you could ever imagine.
That's true.
Yeah, you're right.
So what are some other things that you would tell our listeners that they should be looking for?
Well, for me, sexual compatibility is very important. I'm a very sexual person. I think sex and the type of sex is very important, that I'm compatible with my partners. So make sure you're into the same things.
So why are you with me? I mean, we're not compatible at all.
No. I don't know. Why am I with you?
I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not.
You might have to remind her later.
I need to remind.
You're a very forgetful person.
She needs frequent reminders. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
forgetful.
Yeah.
But yeah,
She's all frazzled now.
but because I take sex very seriously.
Yeah.
You do.
I do. I take sex very seriously. I think people don't give it enough importance. We're not in the time when your grandma and you marry somebody your parents told you. I think you should test the market. And I think you should get somebody that tickles you in the right way. And you tickle them in the right way. It's very important, because sooner or later, you're going to have a problem if sex is not satisfying.
That's true.
Yeah.
And now everybody knows you have a tickle fetish. So
Stay tuned for outtakes at the end. You'll be happy you did.
and if you like this content, don't forget to hit the like button.
And the bell.
Yes. Like, subscribe, and share, because a lot of the people that are listening to this and can use this content, they're not out. They can't share this, and they don't really have any way of getting information like this. So if you are out and you're in a position where you can share us, we would love it if you can do that for us.
We'd appreciate it. It's really hard to get this kind of information out to the people like you that want to see it. And so if you're part of any private Facebook groups or anything like that you can share this at, please do. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. Another very important thing for me is that my partners are warm-hearted and kind. And this brings me to the fact that, makes me think about the fact that in polyamory, you don't have to have a partner where everything just matches. Like, for example, like you want the empathetic partner, and you want the strong partner, and you want somebody who's loving, and you want somebody that your hobbies match, and you want all these things from one person. But when you're polyamorous, and in our case, I still want all these things, but I don't have to get it just from you, Josh, or from you, Char. Yeah. So you two together give me everything that I want. Like, I go with Char to the ballet, or to the theater, or to the museum, and we do other things. Josh, we go out, we go crazy, and we dance. So I get to have it all, and you guys get to have it all. Yeah. And together, all three of us, we make the perfect trifecta, the match.
Yes.
I'm the strong. She's the empathetic.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
It reminds me of that line from my favorite movie, Dr. Marston and the Wonder Woman, where he's talking to his wife and he's telling her all the things that he loves about this other woman. And he's like, you're this and she's that, and you're this and she is that. He's like, together, you are the perfect woman. Like, wow, like it's really cool. Like, and what is so strong and beautiful about this woman, and this other woman doesn't have that, but she has the counter to that. And that is beautiful, and to both partners, and it's just together, the synergy there.
Yeah, you get
it's
it all.
just it's beautiful when you open yourself up to that.
And on the other side, this actually makes me think about, do I want to be everything for someone? When I hear something like that, when a partner looks at two other partners and they're telling them, you're giving me this and you're giving me this, and together from the two of you, I have everything. It takes so much pressure off of me of having to be everything for someone, because I do want to please my partners. And the idea that there are things that I don't give them, it's very stressful for me. So knowing that I give you, Josh, something, and other things that I cannot give, you get from Char, it's so relaxing. I'm like, yes, then I get to enjoy, and I get to be myself. And the same for you, Char. I know I give you things that only I can give, and then the rest of what you need, you get from Josh.
Yes.
It's perfect.
Yep. It's beautiful.
Yes.
And that is something that was very difficult for me, transitioning from monogamy and then opening up to the idea of polyamory, being raised and just engulfed in a society that only accepts monogamy. You are groomed to think you're supposed to give all this long list of things to this person. And then when you have him saying, well, I would like to get this from somebody else, it makes you feel like a failure. But then once I started actually opening my mind to that, it was like this huge relief. Like, oh, thank God. Like,
I don't have to be everything.
I'm not actually wired to fill this need that you have, that I know you desperately need. So it takes a huge stress off of me to try to fill that for him. And then I can be more authentically myself for him. And then parts of me that are more authentically me, I can fill his cup in a much better way. And then now I can fill your cup in a much better way. I can fill the kids' cup in a much better way. I can have friendships that are deeper than I could before, because I'm just free to be me and not trying to be just what the people I want in my life need me to be.
And accentuate the things that you're already excelling at.
Yes.
Rather than trying to be mediocre or something that you're really not good at anyways.
Yeah. The whole play to your strengths. Like you hear people talk about that with your kids. Like, well, if they're not bad at math, don't try to get them better at math.
Right.
Lean into what you're already good at, right?
Yeah. One of the biggest misconceptions I get all the time from men that are monogamous, they always say to me, and I know you guys have heard it before too, they say, oh, more women, more problems. They say, I don't know how you do it. You know, I can't even keep one woman happy. That, you know, what's it like to have two women mad at you all the time? I hear these things all the time. And what they don't realize is when you're in a throuple, I'm not trying to continuously be everything for two people.
Yeah.
You guys are that for each other too. So it's like, it's not like I have to do it all.
Yep.
You know, we share.
So it's less stressful.
It is less stressful.
More you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what are we trying to say with this? Is like, when you're looking to date a couple as an individual, you have your list of wants, and you get to pick and choose who is the person in this couple that is going to fulfill those wants. It's so much easier and so different than trying to find a life partner, one single life partner, because you get two people that bring their best to the table. And when you're looking for empathy, for example, they don't both have to have it. You know, you need empathy in your relationships. Therefore, only one of them, it's okay if only one of them has it.
Yes, exactly.
So
I think we've done a great job here of talking about all the benefits of dating a couple and coming into a pre-existing relationship. What advice do you have, Liv, for anyone that is open to this idea and is still in that dating market? Do you have any like tips or tricks or wisdom to share with our listeners?
I actually do, and it's trust your intuition. And what I mean by that, how I do it, how I did it, because I don't do it anymore. I'm off the market. Sorry. Always pay attention to the profile. If the profile did not look right to me, then every single time I would go forward with it. It just was not a match. So what I was looking for, the pictures. Are they pictures that are well taken in a way that actually speaks to me? I would even look in the background. Is this person's room clean? cleanliness is important to me.
Yeah.
If it's a cluttered house and the picture is just a mess, then no, we are not compatible.
Yeah.
Or is the profile too wordy? That to me was a problem. I am not into like overly talking and splitting one hair in like a million pieces.
What if it just says, message me for more information?
Right. No, I'm not going to message you for more information. It's not going to happen. So just, that was for me. But like find the profile that speaks to you, has enough information or enough lack of information to get you wanting more. And go for it. Trust your instincts. That is the number one secret. And most of the time, our instinct, our intuition already tells us how and where we should go, but our desire to find what we want makes us not listen to it. So trust your instinct. If it's not the thing for you, your instinct is already going to tell you that. So go with that. Don't go with your desire to find something that is not there.
This might be a little too woo for some of our viewers, but I believe in the law of attraction. One thing that I started doing when I was getting on dating apps is I wouldn't get on them unless I felt like I was in a good place mentally. So if I was feeling in a place of lack, like, oh, if we just had this other person, then everything would be fixed. Like if I got on there, I'd start connecting with people that also were in a place of lack. And
interesting. Yes.
Yeah. And it would be like maybe people that would just message you and waste your time, or you meet up and they're one thing or another, they're just obviously not the right fit. And then it's when you are actually finally in that good place that you do connect with that right person. You know, like we touched on in our initial episode where Josh was saying, he reached this point of saying like, it's my goddamn birthright to have two women because I work so hard on myself and I'm such a good man and a good partner. And it was at that point I was like, intuitively, I knew that was a turning point because he was finally at that moment where it was here, you know? So yeah, just making sure you're not looking for another person from a place of lack is huge.
Yes, that's very powerful.
I hope you found this information helpful. This is part 1 of a 2-part series that we've just done on how to join a couple.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Make sure you stay tuned for the outtakes. They are well worth it. If you want to leave a comment, we would love that. We love to interact with all of you guys.
And we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. The first one is the hardest. I didn't have any more hair in me. Could you hear it?
Yeah. You sounded like you were running out of air. Socially. Let me start that again.
That's a good word. I like that.
No, it was good.
This actually.
I want that outtake at the end. Right?